guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Chrissy and I am the owner of Sugar and Spice Glitter Co. In today's video, we're going to be working on a fun project using this brand new laser cutter that I was so honored to receive from xTool. I'm so excited for it, you guys. When I first received this laser cutter, laser engraver, I was so intimidated. It took me a while to get this baby set up and figure out what my first project was gonna be. But I'm so excited because we got it going and I'm ready to show you all how to engrave and use this xTool laser cutter and engraver. So today we're gonna do a fun project, engraving on a clipboard, and I wanna give a huge shout out to my cousin who actually gave me this project. She's like, you got a laser cutter, I got a project for you. It's the end of the year, I need some teacher gifts. Let's try to get some clipboards engraved for these teachers. And I was like, you know what? I think this is gonna be a great way for me to just dive into this because, like I said, I've been so intimidated by it. But I really love this machine. It's taken me a while to kind of figure out the ins and outs, but I think I got a lot of it down packed. So I'm ready to share it with you guys. If you haven't heard of the xTool, this is the xTool M1, and it is basically like Glowforge and Cricut came together, had a baby, and the xTool was born. Not only can you use this to engrave and cut on wood, acrylic, stainless steel, and a whole bunch of other stuff, but this also has a blade similar to the Cricut, and you can cut out adhesive vinyl, HTV, and more. So if you're looking for a machine that you can use that will help you kind of downgrade the different products that you have and machineries that you have, because if you're like me and you're limited with space, then this might be a great option for you guys to have, to be able to have access to a laser and also an adhesive vinyl cutter. So I want to say a huge thank you to xTool again for sending me this. I know it's taken me a little while to get this video up, but I'm excited. I'm excited, guys, because it's really cool and I'm so happy and I'm so excited with all the different projects that I can bring to you guys now. And if this is something that you're excited about, if you've been interested about, and you want to see like all these little like laser engravings and things that we can do, let me know in the comment section down below, because I would love to be able to hear what kind of projects you want to see from me. Also, if you want to see not only laser engraving projects, but maybe some like adhesive vinyl and HTV projects on this as well. So today we're going to dive in. I'm going to show you guys how I engrave on this acrylic clipboard. And yeah, we're just gonna dive into it. I'm gonna show you guys what the design program looks like. I'm not kidding you when it looks, I'm gonna say it looks just like the Cricut Design Space. So if you already are used to Cricut Design Space, you're not gonna have a problem using this program at all. So let's go ahead, let's dive into the program so I can show you guys how to set up, put in your name and all that stuff, and then I'll show you guys how to actually cut it. Now, I do want to say before we go ahead and get started that you are going to need to use this in a ventilated area. So let's turn this around. I have it on wheels right now because we're going to actually take this outside because I don't have like easy access to an open window right now, but it has a vent that you attach to the back. And if you have a window, you can just bloop, stick it out and run it, no problem. But I have a lot of machinery. I have a lot of vinyl cutters and sublimation printers and a whole bunch of stuff in my office. I just didn't have the space to have this set up. So I put it on my rolly cart. We're gonna roll it outside. And when we get this fired up, it's just gonna ventilate outside. All right, so that's why I have it here. I'm not gonna run it inside without any ventilation. We're gonna take it outside. But if you have a nice space and you have an open window and easy access for you to get to, then it'll be great for you to just use in your office and you can vent it out the window. All right, let's go ahead and dive on in. If you're excited to see how I use this and how we work with this xTool, stick around and let's dive in.
I want to say thank you to all my exclusive members. Without your support, this channel wouldn't be possible. If you want to learn more about how you can join my exclusive membership, then check out the description. So first thing you want to do is go ahead and open up your computer and open up the program. Once you've got the program open, you can see just how simple. Now for this video, we're going to do a simple text. So on the left side of the screen, there's a text box option. You're going to go ahead and click on that and it will open up a little tab for you on the right hand side with a text box. In there, you can change your text to whatever you want. In this case, I'm going to use a name and I'm going to type in the name right there. I'm also going to go ahead and change the font. I'm going to just type in monogram because I want a specific look. The first name is going to be in all capitals, and then the last name is going to have a text font. Once I've gone ahead and added the name, I'm going to change that from score to engrave because we're going to be engraving this on our clipboard. I'm going to weld it, and then I'm going to open up another text box, and I'm going to go ahead and type in the last name in that text box as well. For this one, I'm just going to be doing a capital L, and then the rest is going to be lowercase, and I'm going to change the font to Simply. I'm also going to go ahead and change that to engrave, and then I'm going to weld that. Once I got both of those together and the size that I'm looking for, I'm going to just select both the first and the last name, and I'm going to go ahead and right click once I've selected both of the names, and I'm going to group it together. So once I've gotten those names grouped up, we're going to move on to the right side of the screen, and I'm going to show you guys over here where it says the output. The output where it says power is going to be how strong your laser is, and this is going to change depending on what kind of material you're going to be using. So I just went ahead and set it to 65, and I'm actually setting my material to user defined material. But here you can see all the different materials that the xTool accepts. They have all these preset options here as well. If you click on more, and that will kind of set for you the thickness and the power percentage and the speed as well. Because I'm using a clear acrylic, we're going to have to just, finesse some things here because clear acrylic can be a little bit more difficult to work on with a laser. So I'm going to just quickly put a 3mm for my thickness, but once I have the clipboard in the actual machine, we can auto measure that, and it will be able to read how thick my clipboard is. But now that we have it all set up, we have to put the clipboard into the laser, and then it will bring up a picture, and then we can reposition the name and resize it to fit exactly how we want it on the clipboard. So let's go ahead.
In the backyard, as I said, I was gonna bring it out. So this is like as real as you're gonna get, you guys. I showed you all how to put the name and everything in the program. So now we're ready to set it up. I wanted to show you guys the clipboard itself right here has a little protection on it on the front and back. Now I'm going to be engraving the name on the back side. We're also going to mirror that. I will include a clip here and show you how I mirror it, but we're going to do it on the back side because I also want to fill it with paint. That way in the front side it is still smooth, so when you put your sheets of paper down and you're writing down at the bottom, it doesn't go into the grooves of the actual engravement. So we're going to put it on the back side. So make sure you keep that in mind if you're going to be doing a project like this where you're going to be doing a clipboard. Take into consideration the actual writing part so that you don't have any indents or grooves or anything that may disturb the writing. So we have it already protected. We're gonna put it down face. You can see in the inside of the laser, we have the bottom of the laser, and then we also have these like triangular prisms. In the program itself, you can see in the area where I put where it said raised or not, and I put yes, and then it asked me if I was use the triangular prisms, and I clicked that option. So when you put your clipboard down, you want to make sure it is even on all sides. Now I like to use these marks here as a, to keep that I know that I have it straight. So you want to make sure you have it as straight as possible and it is nice and flat. Now let's go to the program so you can see what it looks like inside of the program, because once you have something in here, it's going to actually ping up a picture on the program so that when you're putting the letters or whatever design, you know exactly how it's going to cut.
Okay, so we are back in the xTool program, and I'm going to go ahead and click that little refresh button, and now you can see where it shows us exactly where the clipboard is inside the laser. I actually love this part because it makes it so easy to design. So now that we have the clipboard there, we can see what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and resize our name. And then let us not forget that we also are going to mirror this name so that it shows the right way when we're looking at the front side of the clipboard. A few things I wanted to mention is that after I filmed this clip, I did go ahead and add a few pieces of painter's tape on the bottom part of the board. What I'm still learning about these lasers is that when it comes to clear acrylic, the laser has a really hard time reading it. So you have to add something that's a little bit darker onto the laser so that it can know where to cut. So I added 2 strips of 2-inch piece painter's tape, and then I just applied, I just made sure that my name was right in that tape section down at the bottom, and I didn't have any issues after that. So that's something that you don't see in here, but once I'm done cutting it, you're gonna notice how the tape was already laid down. So here I have the name, and I'm sizing it, putting it where I want it, and I'm just refreshing my camera just to make sure that it's nice and even. And at the top of the page, you can see that it says reflect. I'm gonna click reflect vertically, and that is just gonna go ahead and mirror that image again so that we can see it the right. I also want to mention that the thickness of this clipboard is a lot thicker than the other clipboards I was using originally for my original project with this one for the teachers. So the thickness of this one is 7.8 and not 3 millimeters. And then the power I ended up using after I put the tape on the board was 80%. So then after you have everything down, you just want to click start, and then we're going to click the button on the laser. So I took a quick little time-lapse video, but the total time it took for the laser to engrave this clipboard with the name was about 28 minutes, and it did a really great job. As you can see in this time-lapse, I did already add the tape so you can see how I laid it down, and it's literally just zapping away that tape. Now, one problem with the tape is it does leave about, and I'm just tapping my finger on there just to show you that you can also feel that stickiness. So after much trial and error with this, I ended up looking up how to fix that, and one of the ways is to use WD-40. This really helps bring up that sticky residue without damaging the acrylic. So I spray a little bit of that WD-40 and I start rubbing in the areas where that laser was engraving. Now I originally had a little bit of concern using WD-40 because I wasn't sure if it was going to lift up all of those pieces on the tape. If you are not going to be painting your engraved area, then you don't have to leave the tape on for this part. You can literally just pull the tape up, use some WD-40 to wipe it clean, and then wash it off with alcohol and soap and water just to make sure it's nice and clean. But because I am going to be adding a little bit of paint to this, I wanted to leave that tape on so that, it can stay nice and crisp and in the lines. So I'm just gently rubbing in that WD-40 just to lift up all of that sticky residue from the painter's tape. And after I'm done cleaning it off as best as I can, I'm going to go in with excuse me, I'm going to go in with a swab of 91% alcohol. And once we have everything nice and clean with all that residue, I'm going to go ahead and let all of that dry. I want to make sure that that alcohol is nice and dry. And then I'm going to grab my favorite brand of acrylic markers, and that is from Arteza. I grabbed the shade Lilac, and I'm going to just, mix up that paint in that marker, and I'm going to just pump it just to prime it, make sure it's working good still, and then I'm going to just go and trace out my letters. I love these markers. They're very vibrant, very smooth to work with. I've been using these markers for a very long time, and they are still great. You can find everything that I've used in this video in the description down below as well. So don't forget to check out that description. I will have these markers, the clipboard, and everything you see here listed down in the description. So I'm going to do about 2 to 3 really good coats of this paint marker, depending on the color and how opaque it is, will determine how many coats you need. This is a lighter color and it's a little bit more translucent, so I actually ended up going in with, I believe, 2 coats of this. And yeah, you want to make sure that that first layer is fully dry before going in with the second layer, and then I'm going to let that fully dry. And once both layers are fully, this is definitely my favorite part of the process, because you lift up all that tape and you reveal the the beautiful crisp lines, and it just looks so fun. I think this is such a fun way to personalize gifts. You guys, I have so many ideas now, so many fun projects now that I can create for you guys here on my channel, and I'm just really excited. Like, look how cute this turned out. So if you have any ideas or anything you want me to do with this 3D engraver or cutter, let me know in the comment section down below. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always,